Every glance was a chapter. Freen and Becky's love that defined a generation. Where their story truly began, before they even knew it. Long before their names were ever linked. Before red carpets, sold-out fan meets, and global fandoms. There were just two women building their dreams quietly. Freen, with her calm confidence and fierce determination. Becky, with her warmth, innocence, and gentle ambition. They entered the entertainment world at different times, from different paths, but with the same fire in their hearts. No one could predict that fate would bring them together in a way that would change everything. When casting for their drama began, both of them walked into the audition room unaware that destiny was already arranging the pieces. When their names were paired for a chemistry test, something shifted. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't explosive. It was simply right. They spoke. And something clicked. They looked at each other. And something familiar sparked. Like meeting someone your heart remembers even when your mind does not. No one said the word chemistry. But everyone in the room felt it. When the cameras started rolling, and reality started to blur. The first day on set felt like an introduction to a new world. Not just for the drama, but for them. They were supposed to act like strangers slowly falling for each other. But their connection moved faster than the script. In the very first emotional take, something unexpected happened. Freen reacted to Becky's expressions like they were real. Becky's eyes softened at Freen's voice like she wasn't acting at all. Directors whispered. "Did you see that?" Crew members exchanged looks. That felt different. Fans, when the episode aired, screamed. This is not acting. There was a gentle magic between them. A natural rhythm. They didn't force anything. They simply responded to each other's presence. And suddenly, a simple drama became a phenomenon. BTS moments. The secret window into their real connection. The world thought the on-screen chemistry was the highlight. Until behind-the-scenes clips dropped. That was when fans saw the real story unfolding. Becky teasing Freen when she got nervous. Freen adjusting Becky's clothes before a scene. Becky giggling whenever Freen made a tiny mistake. Freen watching Becky like she was the most interesting thing in the room. These weren't rehearsed, scripted, or planned. They were instinctive. Fans noted the way Becky leaned closer than necessary. The way Freen let her guard down around Becky in a way she didn't with others. The way their eyes met and stayed just a second longer than normal. People said, every time they look at each other, a new chapter begins. And it was true. Their connection grew in quiet moments, the kind that weren't made for TV but still made viewers fall even deeper for them. Interview moments, when words revealed what eyes already knew. Then came the interviews. The era where the world realized this bond was not limited to the show. Whenever Becky spoke, Freen listened with her entire heart. Whenever Freen praised Becky, Becky blushed like nobody else had that effect on her. The turning point came during a particular interview. The moment fans still talk about. The host asked, "What makes your chemistry so strong?" Everyone expected a typical answer. But Freen took a breath, looked at Becky, and said softly, "Some people you just connect with, naturally, without trying." Becky immediately looked down, her cheeks turning pink, the shy smile betraying more emotion than any words could. The fandom exploded. Because that wasn't the answer of someone who was acting. That was the answer of someone who felt something real. And Becky's reaction. Pure, uncontrollable emotion. The kind you can't script, can't control, can't fake. The world fell in love with them. Not just their characters. People didn't just ship the drama characters. They shipped Freen and Becky. Two real people whose bond felt deeper than any fictional storyline. Artists drew fan art. Directors referenced their chemistry. Media outlets called them the pair with the strongest natural connection. Worldwide fans stayed up late just to watch 1-minute clips of them together. Why? Because they weren't acting like co-stars. They were acting like two souls who found comfort in each other. Two souls who understood each other in silence. Two souls who didn't need to try. They simply were. Their love story, real or imagined, became a symbol of hope, softness, and emotional honesty for fans around the globe. Their legacy: a love written in the spaces between words. Years from now, people will still remember Freen and Becky. Not just as actresses, not just as partners in chemistry, but as a cultural movement. Phenomenon. A generation's definition of connection. Their impact wasn't built on big events, but on the way they made emotions visible even in the smallest details. The gentle hand touches. The warm smiles. The protective gestures. The way Becky glowed around Freen. The way Freen softened around Becky. Their relationship, whatever form it truly takes, taught fans that real connection doesn't need labels. It doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't need to be dramatic. Simply needs to be felt. And Freen and Becky, they made the whole world feel. Every eye contact, every shared laugh, every quiet moment, every glance was a chapter. And together, they wrote a love story that defined an entire generation. The storm of fame, and how their bond survived what many don't. When Gap exploded beyond expectations, their lives changed overnight. Suddenly, crowds waited outside airports. Interviews were non-stop. Cameras followed their every step. Every movement became a headline. Every smile became proof. Every silence became rumor. For many new celebrities, that kind of attention becomes pressure. For many pairs, fame becomes distance. But for Freen and Becky, it brought them closer. At fan meets, Becky often reached for Freen first. Not because she needed attention, but because she needed grounding. Freen became something stable in the whirlwind. And Freen, despite her strong, confident exterior, relied on Becky too. Because behind the spotlight, Freen had always been more reserved, more guarded, more careful. But with Becky beside her, she didn't have to pretend to be unshakable. The moment fans knew, these two are not just co-stars. Every fandom has that moment. The moment everything shifts. The moment people start whispering, "Wait, this is real." For Freen Becky, that moment came during a fan Q&A session. A fan asked Becky, "What's the one thing Freen does that always makes you feel safe?" Becky didn't answer immediately. She looked at Freen. Freen looked back. A soft, unspoken conversation passed between them. Then Becky said quietly, almost shyly, "She notices everything. Even when I don't say anything." The room fell silent. Fans held their breath. And then Freen, trying to hide her emotion, replied, "I just care about you." Naturally. The crowd screamed. Editors clipped the moment within minutes. Within hours it was trending worldwide. No acting. No script. Just truth. That was the day people stopped calling them co-stars. From that day on, they became a legendary duo. Two people whose connection spilled off screen and into the real world.